One of the things that I would like for you guys to learn about is something that's called microfinance or microcredit. Microfinance or microcredit is a banking service provided to unemployed or low income individuals or groups who otherwise would have no access to financial services. Microfinance allows people to take on reasonable small business loans safely and in a manner that is consistent with ethical lending practices. Now, to us, this may sound like, okay, you go to a bank, you get a loan, it's okay. It doesn't work that way in every country around the world. There are a lot of countries where underrepresented groups, I guess would be the best way to say it, are really have no access to finance services. And those services are necessary for a whole lot of different reasons. First of all, let's talk about entrepreneurs. Micro entrepreneurs are individuals who own and operate micro enterprises. The definition of a micro enterprise varies from country to country, but in most cases, they're considered to be very small businesses with fewer than five or no employees. The microfinance movement addresses a basic yet devastating glitch in the formal banking system. Poor households cannot get the capital from traditional banks because they do not have the collateral to secure loans. And traditional banks do not want to take on the risk and cost of making a small, uncollateralized loan. Without this capital, people that are impoverished cannot rise above where they're existing now. For example, a seamstress cannot buy the sewing machine that would allow her to sew more clothes than she could by hand and pull herself out of poverty. Microfinancers use innovative contractual practices and organizational forms to reduce the risk and costs of making loans, such as lending groups. Rather than just to one person, some of the micro credit organizations will give their clients more than loans. They offer education, training, healthcare, and other social services. Typically, these organizations are not for profit and are owned by customers or investors who are more concerned about the economic and social development of the poor than they are with profits. When I first learned about microfinance, it was when I started using, I found out about a place called Kiva, Kiva, and I am going to put links up for y'all. I probably have been a member of Kiva for a few years. My friends make fun of me and say that I'm cheap. I don't consider myself to be cheap. I'm just very frugal. But I didn't realize what my $25 could do for somebody else. You know, $25 to me is staying out of McDonald's 3 times a week, not going to the Outback for a fancy lunch or dinner once in a while. I can help my waistline and help somebody else achieve their dreams. There's no rhyme or reason to the people that I pick on Kiva, but I am going to tell you why I've picked some of them. Now, when you go to visit Kiva, you will see that they are categorized in different areas. They're categorized by country, they're categorized by the type of industry that their business is in, they're categorized sometimes by whether they're male or female, because some female entrepreneurs or financiers may only want to help other females. Me, I kind of spread it all over the place. And I'm going to give you a link to my lending profile so you can see all the different types of industries that I've helped and all the different types of countries that I've helped out in. Now, I got to say, Occasionally, I might be a little sentimental instead of my normal cold-hearted self, but I read these stories and I contribute based on what they're telling me their need is. First of all, I believe in a good toilet. You know, you've been on a road trip sometime and you've walked into places to use the restroom, and it was not a place you'd ever want to go in your life. Well, there's a couple I picked out because they were living in homes that did not have sanitary services for their needs. So I contributed because they wanted to build a bathroom on their home, or they wanted to build a toilet and a shower. You could use the kitchen sink. But these are all the things that they wanted to do. And I'm like, that's something I'd want. And I contributed. One guy I contributed to, I believe he might have been in Mexico. His thing was he had to leave town a lot to work, and he was worried about the safety of his family. I contributed him to that new safety features that he needed. It's like a nice sturdy fence. And I know where we are now, people don't a lot of times have fences, but I believe fences make great neighbors and they make your house more secure. And sometimes it was because of maybe their picture. I actually picked this one woman because she was a preacher's wife and I'm a preacher's daughter. And I have sometimes picked people because of their name, like the ones that, well, maybe three that I picked because of their name. It's because their names were the same as my parents' names. And I actually did those as a tribute to my parents. And if you look at my lender profile, the ones that have the little hearts on them, those are the ones that I did as a tribute. I want you to check out all the links. I want you to learn more about microfinance and how it could possibly help others.